Okay, sup guys, it's your boy here, Dark Raikou here with What If Issei was chosen by Arceus and can summon other legendaries. Now, he does have what's it called? Well, not Issei. If you know who Arceus is, mostly the background picture, he's basically the god of Pokemon, basically the whole creator of it. I mean, he created the gods first, mostly the legendary Pokemons like Dialga, Palkia, and also Giratina, because they came first before any other Pokemon. And then, yeah, every other thing just kind of go on along. If you just want to watch something that actually explains it, just go on YouTube. Just search up the legendaries explainment. But yeah, or Arceus explainment, whatever. But yeah. But pretty much, Issei is going to be the one chosen by Arceus to kind of be able to summon other legendaries, and even Arceus himself. But not the point. Also, no, this world is not going to be containing any other Pokemon. I mean, there are certain people that might be able to summon Pokemon, but that's just because Arceus isn't taking any chance. But yeah. When I mean he is not taking any chance, it's because he already tried this with a different world. Now, that's not here, that's not there. Let's just begin into the what if. But yeah. So, we begin into mostly a 5-year-old kid with brownish hair and, of course, golden brown eyes. Ripped clothing right now, and, of course, seems to be dried off his mouth. And pretty sad. He seems to be, well, mostly having dried tears in his face. This is where, well, he's kind of walking through a forest right now, very weak. And, of course, this is where, well, he's extremely weak because he just managed to kind of escape near death from an incident that caused his parents' death. But yeah, his parents already died. This is where, well, this child is walking until he passed out, but before passing out, he saw something kind of fall down from the sky and smash to the ground. This is where, well, Issei didn't know what it was, but of course it worked well. He seems to about to pass out until he just realized that if he just passed out, he might die. Might person or whatever that killed his parents might come back to kind of try to kill him. So of course he gets up, even though he's so weak, getting towards the location of what happened. He doesn't know what was it. He probably thinks that something might help him, but yeah. Issei gets to the place that the thing crashed. Walking pretty slowly and trying to be careful, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei, well, yeah, this boy is Issei, another, but yeah, don't worry about it. This kid managed to get towards the crash site. When he gets to the crash site, he managed to kind of see, well, a kind of, well, giant being right now on the ground. Now, of course, the giant being is trying to get up, and of course, there's like these kind of crystals not very far away from the giant building, or I mean not giant building, being itself. A golden and white being with kind of a golden like ring around his body, but it seems to be kind of cut off or whatever. It's not an entire ring, but yeah. It has kind of green gems on it. The thing is kind of cold. The being itself is white and gray, and he does have red eyes. This is where, well, the being itself decides to speak. And looking at the boy, who are you, and what do you want? This is where, well, the boy gets startled for a second, and this is where, well, he decides to hide behind a tree, getting scared. Now, of course, the being is getting up slowly, but surely. Of course, where, well, he looks around and sees that there's some of the crystals that are around him, usually, or fragments, are kind of spread out, not that far, but he is still kind of weak from his hibernation. This is where, well, or mostly his slumber. He sighs and was trying to get up, but of course he fell back down. This is where, well, he seems to be kind of tired. What the boy kind of noticed. This is where the boy noticed what the kind of, well, creature looks to be looking at. But of course the creature kind of closes his eyes. This is where, well, the young boy goes towards mostly a fragment, a crystal, or whatever it is. It looks to be like some kind of glass shattered thing or whatever. But this is where when he kind of gets close to it, it is pretty big. This is where, well, when the boy tries to pick it up, trying to seem to try to help it or whatever, because the being itself seems to be looking at the giant crystal thing or whatever it is. Well, the boy knows that the thing hasn't really attacked him, so of course it's pretty much not hungry or anything. So of course I won't eat him. And so where, well, when the boy kind of went towards this crystal thing, it did kind of shock them a little bit. Now of course is where he was confused, but of course he decided to still try to pick it up. This is where, well, he felt still very tired, but of course he was kind of determined to help the giant being, even though he doesn't know what it is. It kind of reminds him of a horse for some reason. But of course, well, he decides to try to get it. Now, of course, he did feel the lightning kind of coursing through his body. But this is where, well, he didn't die. Now, of course, he felt stronger every time he tried to pick this up. Not just because from the lightning, but something actually appeared next to him, like a gauntlet, a red gauntlet, kind of boosting him a little bit. But of course, the being that's inside him right now is still slumbery or sleepy, because of an incident that happened about like 5 hours ago. This is where when the boy kind of got close to the giant, well, giant kind of horse or whatever it is, kind of has the crystal shatter fragment or whatever, and gave it towards the being, like put it right next to him. This is where when the being opened his red eyes, and narrows them straight towards the young boy is trying to push the crystal towards him. This is where, well, the being itself seems to be surprised for a young child for actually trying to help him. This is where, well, he let the crystal itself, the fragment, decide to float up, and right now become a part of him. This is where, well, Issei seems to be kind of tired and passes out. This is where, well, the being has a little bit more energy now. This is where, well, he kind of decides to try to locate the other kind of fragments. This is where he managed to locate them, and this is where, well, he decides to kind of bring them towards him. This is where, well, all of them towards him. This is where, well, all of them decide to appear right on next to him. All, what's it called? Of course, this is where, well, when he managed to bring out all 18 back towards his body, or mostly 17, because he already had one of them. But of course, this is where when he brought them all back towards himself, this is where he looks down at the young boy, and decides to, well, make a forceful of energy appear around him and the boy. This is where, well, he waited until the boy wakes up. Now, of course, he noticed that the boy was actually losing his life a little bit slowly, but surely. Seeing the boy seems to be kind of hurt mentally and other stuff with what's it called? Well, not just mentally. He's not hurt physically. Well, he is hurt physically and mentally. The giant creature kind of notices. This is where, well, the golden creature itself seems to be kind of thankful towards, well, the young boy. Even though the young boy did kind of hurt himself, even with the lightning. But of course, he doesn't understand how this young kind of creature, human, actually managed to pick up the giant crystal, or mostly giant, not magic stone, mostly element stone, being that of lightning. This is where, well, he noticed the boy will be dying sooner but later. This is where, well, the being itself decides to bless him, well, mostly bless the human child with his own power, deciding to choose the child to be the wielder of his power. Now, of course, not just the wielder of his power, but also being the wielder of bringing out other legendary beings, other legendary god beings, being that of demigods or gods themselves, mostly of his kind. This is where, well, he managed to bless what's it called, the boy, and the boy actually in his left hand actually appears a gauntlet. A kind of goldenish gauntlet with a red kind of ring. Now, of course, the golden gauntlet itself was kind of colored with blue and green and other stuff, similar to the same colors of that of mostly the being itself, right in front of him. This is where, well, the child actually also felt much more powerful. His body, all the wounds were actually healed in an instant. His mental state was actually healed, but would not be able to last that long. Because if he remembers everything what happened like 5 hours ago, then his mental state will not be that great. So yeah. But of course, the being, he still wanted to help the young boy. This is where, well, when the young boy was opening his eyes, this is where he looks up towards the giant being itself. And this is where, well, the giant being itself says, "Hello there, you're awake now, aren't you?" This is where, well, the young boy gets scared, a little bit and startled. But this is where, well, the being itself says, "Do not be too scared, my child. You see here, thank you for your service and bringing back one of my element stones towards me. The lightning stone you brought back gave me enough power to bring out my other element stones. Well, other than that, I have just blessed you with some of my power. Some of my power in that gauntlet right there, next to your hand, your left hand. And since now that you have a bit of my power, you will be able to do a lot of incredible things. Well, thank you for your services. And that's just a gift for helping me. I should be leaving now." This is where, well, the being itself says, "But my name, if you ever wanna ever summon me, or bring me into anything that you need help with, you will just have to call out my name. And my name is Arceus. Arceus, the god of, well, Pokemon." But yeah, this is where, well, Issei nodded. This is where Arceus asked for Issei's name, or mostly the young boy. This is where Issei looks up, and this is where, well, he sat in a little bit, but then looks up with a determination look, because after hearing about power, or mostly that he might be able to revenge his family and other things, Issei says, "The name is Issei Hiro," of course, in a very childish voice. And this is where Arceus nodded. This is where Arceus turns into a bright flash of yellow golden light with white and disappears in an instant. But of course, a flash of white and yellow light snapped someone's eyes open and woke them up. This is where, well, a brown-haired boy kind of just woke up with golden eyes. This is where, well, golden brown eyes just woke up, just remembering something about past life. This is where, well, he just starts yawning, and this is where, well, he's like, "Oh, fuck's sakes." This is where, well, next to him was a kind of boy with kind of black hair, or mostly kind of shortish black hair. He did kind of get a kind of cut a while ago, but of course, right now it's kind of growing back. He has closed eyes, and of course, where, well, he kind of just looks at Issei. This is where Issei, well, mostly the boy who's right next to him. This is where, well, the guy's, let me say that again. The guy kind of just says, "Dude, Issei, fuck off. Stop trying to nap on me." This is where, well, Issei says, "What? Why the fuck would I try to nap on you, motherfucker?" This is where, well, the person says, "Dude, you fell asleep during this fucking train ride towards Cool, well, not Cool, mostly Kyo. Like, we're almost there. The train doesn't take that long, does it? How the fuck you fall asleep almost? Again, didn't you fall asleep like 30 minutes ago? How, wait, well, not 30 minutes ago. Didn't you wake up like 30 minutes ago and then fell back asleep? How the fuck do you do that?" This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, "Oh, I forgot about that. Hey man, that's boring as fuck. Then look at your phone or do something. Stop trying to fall asleep on me, man. Like, fall asleep across or something. I don't care what you do." This is where, well, Issei said, "Sorry, man. Sorry, Matsui. Just felt really tired and bored. I don't really want to go or anything." Yeah. Just don't fall asleep on me. Jesus fucking Christ." This is where, well, Issei chuckles. Whatever, man. This is where Issei pulls out his phone and starts hearing music, but yeah. This is where, well, the song he's hearing is. So the song he's hearing right now is called "Back Into the Darkness," made by Black Lit District, but yeah. You give and you blah blah blah, you get the point. This is where, well, he's hearing that song, and this is where, well, he does have headphones. He like puts on some like blue headphones. Well, kind of blue. They're kind of actually being yellow and white. He puts them on, and of course, this is where, well, he's hearing music. This is where Matsui, he just ignores this and just goes back on to whatever he was doing on his phone before trying to wake up Issei, because Issei tried to fall asleep on him again. Like, fuck off. This is where, well, Matsui is right now sighing and wondering where the fuck did Ike kind of win. Now, there's another person named that was kind of in front of them. There's actually two people that were actually be there, but mostly, well, like 2 seats in front of them. Well, mostly, yeah. to be facing each other, but yeah. And this is where, well, he's wondering where the fuck Ike went, but yeah. This is where Ike and also, mostly he asked for, not Ike, mostly Akka. This is where, well, Akka is someone that's mostly with their friend group, but yeah, this is where, well, he's telling where Akka's at, and even, what's it called, someone else named, so there's another person named Natural Hamaria Gropers, but mostly he calls him N, so yeah, he's wondering where the fuck they're at. And this is where, well, Issei is right now going back to hearing music and not caring that much. There's another song that he's hearing in his head playing right now. The song he's hearing is called Villain, made by, what's it called, made by Wildfire, and he's singing, tick, tick, tock, the time bomb clocks grin into ear. Yeah, you get the point. He's hearing that, and this is where, well, mostly hits him in the shoulder, and this is where Issei turns around and says, what the hell do you want? This is where, well, Issei does take off his headphones, and the song is still playing, and it's still loud enough for, what's it called, Monster to hear, and Monster would say, are you hearing Villain? Never mind. You still are kind of emo, depressing ass motherfucker. Not the point. Where the fuck is Ike and also Annette? Huh? I don't know. Motherfucker, I went to sleep. How the fuck am I gonna pay attention to anyone? This is where, well, mostly sighs and says, whatever, man. Damn, this is the beginning of our second year, and literally what we gotta do is be bored out of our life and going in a field trip. Bro, I don't care in this field trip that much. I just care about going home, going to sleep, and not caring. Yeah, that's the only thing you think about, Issei. Sleep, train, sleep, and, well, play video games, hear music, and other stuff, and also eat. But that's all you think about. Issei chuckles and says, of course that's all I think about. Now I should mention what Issei is wearing. Issei does have long, kind of dark brown hair. He does have long, mostly golden brown eyes. And this is where he's wearing a black kind of jacket, well, black kind of coat jacket that kind of looks like this. A white long sleeve shirt that looks also like this, but yeah. He does have a necklace, and the necklace kind of shows to be, well, I will show you how it kind of looks like. But pretty much he does wear kind of like these dark pants with kind of a black, mostly a black belt. But yeah, and kind of black kind of boots. Yeah, he's wearing black boots. This is where, well, the crescent kind of necklace kind of looks like this. So the necklace kind of looks like this. It looks to be like a ring. Well, a ring in the middle with kind of having like 4 kind of like large, kind of, well, not large. It looks to be like swords or something pointing out from the ring. The swords kind of has a green gem in the middle, and they look to be like real kind of like emerald green, and the whole thing is kind of made out of gold. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei is kind of saying, whatever, man, just wake me up when I'm, what's it called, when wearing what's it called, Kyo. Yeah, whatever, man. This is where, well, Issei goes back to sleep, but this is where this time he's hearing music and kind of like going to sleep on his backpack that's at like the right side of him. But yeah, since Matsui's in the left side, but yeah. This is where, well, the song he's hearing off to kind of go to sleep is called, so the song he falls asleep to is called, Willow Tree, made by what's called Riblet, or Riblet, yeah, Riblet, and what's it called, Canlet. But yeah, and also features someone else. But this is where, well, Issei is already asleep and doesn't care. This is where, well, Issei gets hit in the, what's it called, stomach pretty hard by someone that actually is right now in front of him. Mostly seems to punch him in the stomach, and this is where Issei gets up and says, oh, you asshole. What the hell do you want? This is where Issei opens his eyes after kind of having them closed. Issei looks up towards seeing a green-haired boy with a hat on top of his head. But of course, he has what's it called. So the person has kind of long greenish hair that kind of goes from his back. Well, mostly ends in the middle of the, ends at the middle of the back. And this is where, well, he has green eyes, wearing a black and white hat. This is where, well, he wears a kind of like black shirt underneath, a black kind of, he wears a black long sleeve. And of course, this is where, well, he has a white kind of, so it's what's called white shirt that's kind of a medium long sleeve. It like gets cut off in like the middle of his like arm. But yeah. But this is where, well, The white kind of medium long sleeve kind of also is kind of cut from the bottom a little bit to show a little bit of his black shirt, and of course it's kind of like revealing to be like a V-neck somewhat, and also kind of has a collar on his like neck. But yeah, this is where he has a necklace that kind of looks like to be like some kind of like it mostly has like a blue ring around the kind of like it's a black ball with the blue ring around it in the middle of the black ball. Of course, it has a yellow kind of like ring also, but it's kind of like half. But yeah, near the kind of whole ball thing. But yeah, this is where he has he's wearing like these khaki pants with like white kind of shoes. Well, not white shoes, black shoes. This is where he also has stuff like this chain kind of keychain, whatever, next to his like belt or mostly his like pants. And mostly next to his khaki pants, that has like a block and it looks like a Rubik's Cube. This is where, he kind of like did punch Issei in the stomach, says, "Wake up, idiot. We're already here. Damn, how long do you sleep?" Issei kind of gets up and says, "Ugh, fuck you, asshole. What the hell do you want, Ann?" Dude, we just got in, what's it called, Kyo. Right now, Aikai and what's it called, Mazu already left. You're right now asleep still. He's like, you should have just left me asleep. And so this train could just, nope, you're coming with us. That's what he says. Oh, wait, fuck off it. Wait, let me grab my backpack. This is where, what's it called, NRA grabbed him from the kind of collar, kind of dragging him before Issei did manage to grab his backpack. And right now, it's being dragged by N. This is where, N does have his backpack right now in his, like, back, but yeah. But still is kind of, we're dragging Issei out of the whole freaking, train, but yeah. This is where, Issei is managed to be dragged out, kind of drop into the floor of mostly the train station. And this is where Issei says, what the fuck, N? This is where, N chuckles and says, "Come on, hurry up, asshole. We gotta get towards the car, Matsu and the others." This is where Issei says, yeah, don't you gotta tell me twice. Issei gets up, puts his backpack, and I should mention one thing. Issei is not that, small. He's pretty big. He's right now being the height of, 5'9", but yeah. This is where, so, right now, N, I just mentioned, he is the height of, 5'9" also. Similar to same height as Issei. But a little bit taller because he does have mostly 5'9.5", but yeah. This is where, he's a little bit taller with 0.5, but yeah. This is where, Issei is walking. This is where, he sees Matsui. Matsui is still having his eyes closed, but just talking to Aika, or mostly Ike, which, yeah, not Aika, Ike, but yeah. This is where, Ike has a kind of red hat on top of his head. This is where, so, of course, Ike kind of has what's it called, red, Ike, or, what did I call him? Yeah, Ike. Kind of has a red hat, mostly a red white hat. This is where he has a red kind of like coat around him, black kind of shirt, mostly a short black shirt, but yeah, mostly not long sleeve, just a normal black shirt, not long sleeve. But this is where, he does have a red coat, like a red kind of, coat. He does have reddish orangey eyes color, but yeah. This is where, he also kind of has, what's it called, blue like jeans it's wearing with black belt. This is where, he has kind of black shoes, and this is where, he is just talking to Matsui, and this is where, Matsui says, so where the hell do we go next? I should mention what Matsui is wearing. Matsui isn't wearing the, school uniform, because they don't care that much about wearing it. This is where, what Matsui is wearing is a black kind of, jacket, like a black hood. This is where, he's wearing kind of, these black kind of, sweats. He doesn't care that much. Black kind of sandals. Yeah, he doesn't give that much of a fucks. This is where, he's wearing kind of black, sandals. And this is where, with black socks. Don't worry, he's a menace. This is where, he's having both of his eyes closed because he just doesn't care that much. This is where, he does have his black hood over his head because he just doesn't like showing off his head, but yeah. This is where, he's talking to, not, Ike. You know what, I'm gonna call him, is it Ike? No. Okay, I'm just gonna call him Red because, that's actually what he's based off. The other person, not Matsui. The other person that I keep calling Ike or Aika or whatever. But he just named Red. This is where, Red kind of just says, whatever, man. Where the hell should we be going then? and says, we should probably go into the hotel towards, where our fucking school decides to put us to. This is where, well, Issei says, yeah, I agree with N. Let's just go over there. This is where, well, they're kind of walking, but yeah. Now, of course, well, his name isn't Red, but that's just a nickname. Well, mostly all four of them do have nicknames for each other, and it's just N because they aren't going to say his long-ass name. Then Red is just Red because he usually does wear a lot of red. They call Matsui, what's it called, Kuro, because he does wear a lot of black. And this is where, well, Issei, they just call him fucking God. Nah, but for real, they just call him, what's it called, Ice. But yeah. This is where, well, they're kind of walking, this is where, well, and kind of says, so Ice, what are we going to be doing for this whole kind of field trip? We're going to be training, we're going to just be doing whatever. This is where Issei says, I'm going to be relaxing. What are you fuckers going to be thinking I'm going to be doing? Sure, that's what you're going to be doing. We all know what the fuck you be doing. This is where, well, Matsui says, yeah, you be fucking in your room. This is where Issei says, shut up, I don't do that shit. Issei fucking kicks him in the back of his back to push him to the ground. This is where Matsui says, hey, asshole, what the hell you did that for? I was joking, unless you actually do that. I'm not a fucking pervert, fuck off. Well, I mean, we are kind of, well, mostly me and you are called one of the two perverted of our school. This is where Issei turns around and says, the reason why they call us that is because of your dumbass. How the fuck you gonna fuck me? How you gonna fuck me over and fuck up another student over? This is where, well, and says, oh yeah, I forgot about Motohama. You guys really just fucked his reputation over until you managed to rebuild it. Which is funny though. This is where Issei says, yeah, it's kind of funny. This is where, well, Matsui says, I mean, I don't feel bad for him, but I don't care that much. But yeah. They're talking about another student, but they don't really care. This is where, well, N kind of says, at least I'm fucking safe with my reputation. This is where Issei says, so you kind of getting chased by the whole population of girls is being safe? This is where N has a dark cloud over his head, saying, oh hell no, ugh. They chase me every fucking day, but at least I'm fit. This is where Ice says, I'm also fit, you idiot. This is where, well, N says, whatever, man. But still, I think I'd rather be chased by the girls than being actually trying to be killed. This is where, well, Issei says, so you want to be R from the girls. Oh, never mind. This is where N says, yeah, never mind. This is where, well, Issei says, I'd rather be killed by them than ever getting R from them, okay? They would never do that to me because I'm a pervert. Thank God, Matsui, you did something good for now that I think about it. Matsui says, yeah, I'm not getting my ass kicked this time. This is where, well, Issei says, no, you still are gonna get your ass kicked because, oh no, you fucked me over. This is where, well, also he says, you're fine. This is where, well, Red is right now on his phone just looking at it and kind of just hearing music. This is where, well, Issei says, at least Red here doesn't need to be dealing with the girl problems either which way you think about it. This is where, well, N says, yeah, he's a lucky bastard. He's not handsome enough to be annoyed by the girls. And he's not a pervert enough to be annoyed by the girls. So, he's in the fucking middle. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. But he's short enough. This is where N gets mostly his ears managed to catch a shit. And he glares at what's called N with just an angry as look. Because right now, Red is the height of what's it called, 5'7". Even though he's in the same grade as Issei, Matsui, and even N. This is where Matsui is the height of 5'8", but yeah. This is where, well, Red kind of says, fuck you, N. Just because I still am growing. I'm a still growing boy, you motherfucker. This is where N says, yeah, but I'm 5'9". This is where 5'9.5". This is where, well, he says, we do not believe in that 0.5. We just believe that that's your shoes. This is where, well, N glares at Issei. This is where Issei kind of just glares at him also with a murderous look, but yeah. This is where, well, N and Issei stop glaring at each other, but this is where, well, they kind of go back to just laughing and joking, but yeah. This is where, well, Red says, whatever, assholes. This is where, well, they get to the hotel. Of course, they see the girl population, the guy population, and they're kind of classier, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly they're kind of just listening to the teacher somewhat. Issei is already in his own fucking world right now, just hearing music. Red is doing the same and is kind of paying attention half-assing it. And this is where Matsui is the only one paying attention. Somewhat. He has his phone recording. We have two phones on. One is kind of recording in whatever the fucking teacher is saying, and the other one he's already hearing fucking music. He is already gone. He's watching YouTube, not music. He's kind of watching YouTube. He doesn't give a damn. Now, of course, well, the teacher's going on and what is happening and blah 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 blah. And this is where everyone's kind of like rooms are going to be at, or like kind of yeah, like rooms and whatever, like dorms. This is where, well, Matsui, he did manage to hear the dorms, and of course, this is where, well, N did manage to hear this pretty fast, or not N, mostly Red, and this is where, well, Red, even though he does have his headphones kind of loud enough, he kind of decides to already go get some door room keys, and he basically got some that are pretty much kind of near the end of the hallway, which was a call people won't bother them. But of course, it's not all the way to the end, which there's one that's basically like a small door room. But yeah, he basically got four just for his what they call idiotic friends. Mostly one for him and three for his idiotic friends, because they don't really care that much and what they do that much. But of course, the teacher goes on and tells everyone to get their dorm room in a fashionably line by order number. But yeah, but of course, Red kind of already has the keys and just tells Issei and Matsui and even N about them. This is where, N says, "Nice job. Well, we should probably already be going to the dorm rooms." This is where Issei says, "Yeah, let's just get out of here." This is where Matsui says, "Yeah." This is where they all kind of disappear from even the teacher and any of the other students' sight, if they were actually paying attention to Issei or Matsui. The only person that managed to pay attention towards them was actually mostly the Prince of Kuo, and that is also because he's just a second year. And this is where, it's none other than Kiba. Kiba is always kind of, he's not always paying attention to them. He only pays attention to some of them because for some reason his master has a keen interest on what's it called, Issei Hyodo, because he does have a feeling of a sacred gear. Now, of course, mostly when Kiba notices, he doesn't really say anything because he already kind of noticed the Red already taking some of the dorm keys. But of course, being at the end, he doesn't know which number. But of course, because everyone managed to crowd it. But of course, Kiba will find out later. He's not trying to be a stalker or anything, but he's just having to keep an eye on Issei. Which that really just means being a stalker, but yeah. This is where, we go into mostly, Issei kind of getting into the dorms. Now, of course, he kind of picks at the end. Well, mostly he picks in the middle of what's it called, the dorms. Red does pick to the right side of him, being near the end, but yeah. This is where, Issei's to the left of him is N, and mostly N's left side is also Matsui, but yeah. They all kind of open their dorms, and of course, it is kind of fucking nice in there, but yeah, not gonna lie. Now, of course, the reason it's so nice in there is mostly because of the different colors that are in there. This is where, Matsui's room is kind of having like a queen size bed, or not even a queen size bed. It's not that big. It's a king size bed. It's still pretty big, but of course, the sheets itself, mostly the blanket itself, is a black blanket. The kind of pillows are black, but yeah, the sheets underneath is kind of like a dark gray. But of course, his room color is kind of like a dark color of dark blue. He doesn't really mind it. Of course, this is where the scene is supposed to be white, but yeah, most of the time. He does have his fan, and his fan, mostly ceiling fan, is black, mostly the propeller things, but yeah, or mostly the kind of wings of it. This is where, everything else, mostly all the furniture is kind of a dark color, and he doesn't mind it. Now, of course, he does have a TV in it, and yeah. This is where, he kind of just jumps on the bed and fucking starts laying on it without a care in the world. He says, fuck it, time to sleep. I don't give a shit about what they want to do. This is where, he falls asleep because he doesn't care. when N gets into his room, it's kind of what's it called? So this is how the bedroom kind of looks like, but yeah, the bathroom and other things will be also there. But yeah, that's how N's kind of like bedroom kind of looks like, which he doesn't mind. He literally just jumps onto the bed and goes to sleep. But yeah, so this is Red's kind of bedroom. But yeah, this is where he just like jumps into the bed and doesn't care and fall asleep. Also, but yeah. So this is basically how his like bedroom kind of look like, mostly Issei's bedroom, which he doesn't mind. He just like jumps into the bed and falls asleep. He doesn't know what his friends are gonna ask him, but he is too tired right now. So yeah. So of course he falls asleep without a care in the world. Still hearing music. The song he's hearing is called So the song is called "Blame Me" by Project Velen or something like that. And of course he's already asleep. He doesn't care. The next day happens, and of course mostly Issei and his friends just go off to kind of do whatever. They just basically avoid their kind of like second year classmates because they just don't care. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into Issei and the others kind of doing that for mostly a couple of days. But mostly the last day, an incident kind of happened between mostly Kyo and a certain Ninetales, and something just happening in Kyo. Now, of course, any human that was caught in the crossfire, they just managed to be saved by some of the supernatural beings that are in Kyo. Mostly some of the yokai, but yeah. But of course, well, what is happening right now, we go into mostly the event happening. A giant kind of this grayish grotesque monster is actually attacking mostly Kyo from the inside. This is where, well, it has what it calls some red slick eyes. This is where, well, it has 10 tails, and this is where it's right now roaring. It's destroying buildings and other things. Right now with 10 tails attacking anything that's actually around what's called the whole Kyo place. Now, of course, the Ninetales is trying to like fight back. This Ninetales has golden fur and trying to fight back against the 10 tails. Now, of course, transforming into a giant Ninetales, but yeah. This is where, well, the Ninetale is sending a very powerful magic attack from its mouth, sending it straight towards the 10 tails. Now, of course, everything is in chaos, and people from mostly the second years of Kuwo is kind of also mostly trying to get out, but yeah. But they can't fully get out because this 10 tails has not just only him, but some other people actually attacking. But they have kind of hoods, and some of them don't even have hoods. They seem to be from like a hero faction or something, because they are. It's mostly the Chaos Brigade and also hero faction attacking. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into kind of 3 certain people right now getting attacked by mostly the hero faction and also the Chaos Brigade. But of course, they're attacking just one person in certain. This is where, well, this person kind of has brownish hair with glasses, and of course, where, well, she has kind of Ninetales behind her and trying to protect her friends. Her friends are mostly containing of, well, a couple of people. Well, not just 3 people behind her, or not 3 people, mostly there's, 3 people behind her. A girl with kind of pinkish hair and, of course, like these reddish eyes. She just activated her sacred gear a while ago, which is called twice critical. It's not the long giant, it's called boosted gear, it's just twice critical. That's where, well, her other friend has brownish hair and brownish eyes. This is where she activated also a sword that's kind of also a, well, it's actually a longitis, but it's mid-tier. It's called Sword of Justice. This is where, well, it's a kind of goldenish, whitish sword, but yeah. This is where, well, she just kind of activated a while ago, but this is where she doesn't know how to use it. And this is where behind them is none other than Asia Argento, who has kind of greenish eyes and goldenish hair, but yeah. She's trying to help her friends using Twilight Healing. Now, of course, the where, well, she is scared of what is happening. But of course, well, the Chaos Brigade is trying to attack them, and even what's it called, the Hero Faction. This is where, well, the Hero Faction kind of says, just destroy the Ninetales and kill off the other second gear users. We can't, even though they're strong enough, we could bring them to the Hero Faction, we still don't have, what's it called, good understanding in what is happening in this situation. Just kill them all. This is where, well, the Chaos Brigade members are right now about to attack until mostly something happens. Ho-ho! Use fire, flamethrower. This is where, well, or someone did kind of calls out someone's name, saying, ho-ho, use flamethrower. This is where, well, and then he says another Pokemon, another name, saying Lucia, Lugia Dragon Wave Rush. This is where, well, a flamethrower smashes upon the Chaos Brigade members right now, burning them in an instant. And the hero faction leaders, or hero not faction leaders, just hero faction members, right now gets hit by a blue, like, very fast blue wave or something. This is where it was smashing into them and smashing them into the building. This is where what appears on top of what's called mostly a girl with brownish hair, and also mostly on top of them is mostly this like flying kind of creature that is well mostly looks to be like some kind of dragon that's right now flapping its wings, mostly its hand wings or whatever. Its colors is white and blue, but yeah, it has a tail and other things. But on the other side seems to be what's it called, a bird, and of course it has kind of like these orange feathers, a golden kind of hair on top. But yeah, and it seems to be pretty big. This is where, well, the kind of two creatures kind of look like this. So yeah, it kind of looks like this. I'm not the best at describing things, so whatever. So yeah, this is where, well, when the two creatures kind of looks at them, they don't narrow their eyes, but of course is where they landed down. And of course someone landed down to the ground, having a black hood over him, and of course a black mask, to make sure that they don't be able to notify or know who exactly this person is. This is where, well, this person has crimson red eyes, right now piercing towards him. And this is where, well, the person says, get on. Right now, get on, Lugia. This is where, well, he points at the kind of white dragon kind of bird thing or whatever. This is where, well, the four of them don't understand what to do, but this is where, well, mostly, what's it called? They kind of feel the ground erupting from them, or well, rumbling under them, erupting just yet, until it erupts a kind of like hand arm, this grayish hand trying to attack them. This is where, well, mostly the person with mostly the black hood kind of tells Ho-Ho to right now send a firestorm tornado. This is where, well, the bird right now flaps its wings to kind of send a very powerful gust of what's it called, like wind, but of course turning into a fire tornado, smashing upon the what's it called hands. This is where, well, the person right now grabs the hands of mostly, what's it called, Mariyama and Aika, or not Aika, mostly Mariyama, Catherine, and just throws them towards Lugia. This is where Lugia just kind of uses his hand to kind of just pick them up and put them in the back. This is where, well, mostly, the person noticed that he won't be able to tell, well, get what to call Asia and mostly Aika towards the other bird, or mostly Lugia. So, of course, he just decides to bring them onto Ho-Ho. And this is where, well, he tells Ho-Ho and also Lugia to go up. This is where both of them flaps their wings and they get up pretty fast up in the ground before, what's it called, hands started trying to attack them. This is where, well, Ho-Ho and Lugia right now flying towards safety. This is where, well, mostly the person saying, damn it, this is bad. The situation has gotten even worse. Damn it, where's the others? This is where, well, mostly what's it called, a hand started erupting, like a huge hand was about to grab them, mostly erupting below mostly this person. And this is where this person says, damn it, this is bad. This is where, well, he hears what's it called, something actually, what's it called, like something smash upon the hand, or mostly someone calling out an attack name. This is where he says, Zagrin, lightning ball. This is where, well, a blue lightning ball smashes into the hand, destroying it in an instant. This is where, well, something flies kind of next to them. This is where, well, mostly Aika and the others notice who exactly it was right now flying a, like, black dragon with kind of having red eyes. This is where, well, the black dragon is kind of crackling with lightning, but this is where the figure well, on top of them is none other than that of N, or mostly none other than Natural Harmonia Gropus. But yeah, this is where, well, they wind their eyes, never actually seeing what's it called, well, mostly, yeah, natural, kind of like on something, like a giant dragon or something. This is where, well, the person right now says, damn it, N, how much of an idiot do you have to be? We told you to kind of wear something that doesn't make you to be revealed. That idiot. This is where, well, mostly Aika and even Ozzy heard this, and this is where Aika kind of knows, well, mostly Natural is usually called, and none other by what's it called, Matsui, Ice, and even what's it called, well, mostly someone else named Red, but yeah, and this is where, well, Aika says, who exactly are you, mysterious figure? This is where, well, Lugia is right now next to Ho-Ho, and yeah, this is where, well, they're kind of flying like next to each other pretty fast. This is where, well, The person right now takes off his hood, and this is where his hair is kind of barely growing, but yeah, he has red, mostly red eyes glaring at Aika, and this is where, well, Matsui says, who do you think is saving you right now, and well, not who do you think is saving you, what is it to you, brat? This is where, well, mostly Aika narrow her eyes and says, brat? I should have known, well, I didn't actually know that you actually had some powerful creature. Mostly what's it called? Matsui kind of glares at her and just say, shut up already. Don't actually talk about this and don't mention anything to this of the freaking, how should I say, second years. I don't want to be bothered with fucking second years bothering me saying, you should summon this, you should summon that, or whatever. I will burn them in an instant. Right? Ho-Ho's kind of screeches and nodded. This is where, well, Matsui says, but still, I don't want to deal with any of you fuckers. You people were literally in the crossfire of my battle. Or just a random battle that we're in. We don't care in what supernatural beings are here for. We only care about us and leveling up. Well, whatever. You don't need to know about us that much. I can narrow her eyes. But this is where, well, something fly past him very fast. Like, faster than normal. This is where, well, mostly above them. Mostly flying, like, not towards safety. Mostly flying above them. And it's none other than someone literally having a kind of, well, yellowish goldenish hood. And somewhat, of course, having a necklace right now in his, like, mostly in his chest. But he's wearing, like, like I say, yellowish, whitish kind of cloak, but yeah. This is where, well, what he's riding, it seemed to be a kind of green serpent slithering just slithering through the sky and flying past, faster than that of Ho-Ho or even Lugia. This is where, well, Matsui says, it seems that he's already getting ready for the battle. This is where, well, they say, what is that? This is where, well, everyone wants their eyes. This is where I could say, who exactly is he, Matsui? That, well, is no one for your concern. Still, what is that? That's what he's writing? Oh, that's nothing. Don't worry about it. This is where, well, Matsui is keeping Issei's identity a secret. They already know about his identity and even En's. He doesn't really care about En's or even his identity being shown towards the supernatural. The only person that does not like being shown to the supernatural is that of Issei. Issei is right now in the kind of white and golden cloak. This is where, well, he tells Rayquaza, mega evolve. This is where, well, he kind of shows off to, like, have this mega, like, gem ball. And he, like, tosses it up, and this is where it lands on Rayquaza's head. And this is where Rayquaza does mega evolve. This is where, well, he becomes into, well, this color of, like, a shiny, mega evolve. So he becomes into this color, but yeah, this is where, well, he's kind of mostly grinning, and of course Issei's on top of his head, but yeah. This is where Issei says, well, it's time, Rayquaza, Dragon Ascend! This is where he screams out an attack, and this is where, well, Rayquaza screeches, and of course this is where, well, Rayquaza started flying in such hyper speed that no one else can understand what is happening. This is where multiple arms started appearing, trying to grab or trying to attack, whatever. This is where, well, the Chaos Brigade and also, the Hero Faction are just kind of dealing with some of the, supernatural beings. This is where, well, we go into mostly a monkey with a green dragon is fighting against, well, the Hero Faction leader named, Chow Chow. Chow Chow is laughing, saying, so, old Wukong, you think that mostly the Nine-Tails named Yakuza is going to be able to defeat that of the Ten-Tails? This is where, well, mostly Wukong says, brat, you don't know the power of what she has. She is none other than the successor of that of Amaterasu. You're just going to know that she's quite powerful. This is where, well, Chow Chow laughs and says, well, there's no other beings that can actually save you or help you. There are some devils, but they're mostly from devil paralysis and whatever bullshit that the humans did. Well, whatever. It was a field trip, and then you had to bother them. This is where, well, they felt this rumbling speed, and this is where when they turned towards their sight, what they saw is something green just fly through, what's it called, multiple, or mostly fly past them, mostly over them, and this is where it just rips and destroys anything, mostly blowing off the sand barrier so fast, destroying it multiple times. This is where, well, they widened their eyes because they were lifted in the air in an instant. Even Chao Chao says, "What the hell is that?" This is where, well, Wukong says, "What is that?" Dragon King. This is where the Dragon King kind of narrows his eyes, and what he sees is mostly a golden cloak, well, white golden cloak person on top of some kind of like Eastern kind of dragon. This is where, well, Rayquaza is right now kind of using Dragon Ascent, and this is where when Dragon Ascent almost collides, well, he smashes upon what's it called, the Ten Tails, because Yakuza seems to be quite tired. Because I say, "Damn it, I can't even fight against this thing." We go into Yakuza POV. This is where, well, two people are kind of screaming towards, mostly three people are kind of screaming towards what's it called, Yakuza's kind of location. Yakuza is telling them to stay back. This is where, well, a girl with kind of, well, having kind of brownish hair and of course having brownish tails, and another one having kind of whitish hair and whitish tails. This is where one of them has blue eyes and the other one has red eyes. This is where they're telling Yakuza to stop it and let them help her. This is where even a girl with kind of yellowish hair seems to be kind of, well, a smaller Yakuza actually screaming to kind of help her mother. But yeah, this is where Yakuza says, "Stand back. I'll fight against this creature." This is where, well, we go into back into Issei's POV. When Dragon Ascent smashes into what they call the Ten Tails, everyone wind their eyes because the Ten Tails literally got knocked into the ground in an instant. This is where the Ten Tails is roaring, but of course it falls down to the ground. This is where, well, the Ten Tails doesn't look like the Ten Tails from Naruto. No, it does look like a wolf that kind of has red crimson eyes and has 10 tails. But yeah, this is where, well, when the wolf gets smashed into the ground, the 10 tails is screaming. This is where, when we go back into the Rayquaza kind of flying up in the air. Rayquaza is right now up in the air, and of course is out of Dragon Ascent. This is where Rayquaza is screeching and roaring out as a call, mostly the 10 tails. The 10 tails kind of glares at what they call Rayquaza. Issei is looking at what they call the 10 tails with such an uncaring look, but no one can actually tell because he's still wearing this cloak around him. This is where, well, Issei scoff at what's it called, this 10 tails. And this is where Issei lifts his hand towards the side of him. And this is where, well, mostly lifted both of them. One has what's it called, his right hand looks to be human, but yeah. And his left hand seems to have a reddish, well, mostly not reddish, a golden gauntlet, but it seems to be green right now. This is where, well, Issei snaps his hand right now, and, well, mostly his left hand, just snaps it, and mostly does a kind of snap twice. And this is where the gauntlet kind of, its gem was green right now, but this is where it kind of glows blue and red. This is where he calls upon two creatures. This is where, well, two rifts appear behind him. And this is where one actually lands down a kind of, well, not two of them. Mostly one of them lands down. Well, it doesn't like, well, what's it called, glow green and red. Or mostly not green and red. Mostly it doesn't glow blue and red. It glows red, and also it glows what's it called, this other reddish color. But yeah, this is where he calls upon Groudon and also another kind of creature. Well, not a darker shade of red, but mostly becomes black. Well, kind of grayish black. This is where, well, he calls upon Groudon and Giratina. This is where, well, Giratina appears through a rift, and even Groudon. Groudon roars towards the call, none other than, well, the 10 tails. The 10 tails looks confused. Even the 9 tails, because the Groudon seems to be extremely way bigger than the 10 tails itself. This is where, well, Giratina is right now screeching. Right now making the noise of, well. So it roars, screeches somewhat. It kind of just makes this weird noise, but yeah. But of course, where, well, it's right now in its kind of, like, dimensional. It's where it has the legs, okay? Not to where it's kind of slithering and other things. This is where, well, he right now kind of is standing behind, well, Issei, and it's pretty big, kind of next to Rayquaza's size right now in his Mega Evolution. And also, well, Groudon is also on the ground, pretty big also. This is where, well, Issei snaps his fingers and says, "Groudon, Primal Evolve." This is where, well, he just tells him to go into his Primal stage. And this is where, well, he then tells Giratina to get ready. This is where, well, Giratina also, well, gets into its actual, like, form. the other one, the slithery one. This is where, well, Issei then tells him all final attack. This is where, well, he tells the car Rayquaza to hit. He tells Rayquaza Dragon Pulse, Groudon. This is where, well, he tells Groudon to This is where, well, he tells Rayquaza Dragon Pulse. This is where a black kind of dark energy appears in Rayquaza's mouth. This is where he tells Groudon Dragon Pulse also. This is where a greenish ball actually appears, which it was going to be a green flashlight. And this is where, well, he tells the car Giratina Dark Pulse. This is where, well, Giratina has a dark kind of pulse in his mouth. This is where, well, all of them right now launches a very powerful attack straight towards, well, what's it called? Mostly the Telltales. Telltale's wide in his eyes, and this is where the attack smashes upon him. This is where, well, something flies out of an explosion of dark smoke actually appears. This is where, like, a necklace of, like, this weird necklace appears over this man who has kind of grayish hair, of course, like, muscles, but they're kind of all fucked up and bleeding. This is where, well, all his clothes is fucked up because it's all ripped. This is where, well, he's right now unconscious, and no longer the Telltales is actually appearing in the sky or anything. This is where when everyone notices and sees the kind of figure, mostly the Telltales person, or who actually became the Telltales. This is where Yakuza growls and saw the necklace. This is where the necklace is possessing this dark energy. But before it can actually go back into the person, it was grabbing an instinct. None other by the kind of figure. The figure of kind of like this golden and white figure. Right now still riding the dragon. It is holding it with his kind of, well, gauntlet, his left gauntlet. And even though the dark energy is trying to seep into, well, mostly Issei, it couldn't. Instead, Issei literally crushed the necklace in an instant, destroying it. Without a care in the world. This is where, well, he then snapped his fingers and told was it called Groudon and even Giratina to go back into their own dimensions. He said it softly. This is where, well, both of them nodded, and this is where mostly Giratina already disappears into its own dimension by going into a rift, and this is where, well, Groudon transformed back into normal Groudon and kind of went into a giant rift that appeared for him. This is where, well, Rayquaza kind of looked at Issei, kind of wondering what he's thinking about. This is where, well, Issei kind of just jumped down on a building because he told Rayquaza to get near the building. And this is where, well, Rayquaza nodded. And this is where, well, he says, hey, so you can go back, Rayquaza said. This is where, well, Rayquaza nodded and screeches and flies off. Right now going into the, well, ozone. This is where, well, everyone wanted their eyes when the figure landed down. Now, of course, the figure does have pieces of it, which he kind of just tossed it up, turning it into a bubble, and just tossing it back up into the well, air and exploding in an instant, annihilating the pieces of whatever it was that turned this being that was down there to seem to be like some kind of supernatural, probably a yokai also, to transform into the Telltales, which he doesn't want to take another chance of it. Instead, someone tries to attack him from behind. This is where, well, the figure, well, mostly the goldenish white figure managed to dodge in an instant by doing a backflip and then kicking the person into mostly a bunch of buildings without a care in the world. This is where, well, the person smashed into the buildings. He kind of had like this, well, mostly blue kind of long hair, had a spear next to him, and of course have armor. This is where, well, he managed to get out of the building site and says, "Damn you, bastard! Damn you, how the hell did you manage to destroy the Telltales? We needed that Telltales to get for what's it called, Great Red, and you managed to defeat him? Damn you, who are you anyway?" This is where Chow Chow kind of screams at what's it called, a figure. This is where the figure doesn't seem to care that much. And just looks at mostly Chow Chow with an uncaring look. Before, well, the figure started walking away. Chow Chow growls and says, "Why you?" This is where, well, Chow Chow says, "That's it." He was calling upon the spear to actually chew kind of like the spear's power and other things, which when Issei kind of notices, he turns back around, then uses his gauntlet, which it goes into a second liberation state, before it just transforms into a giant sword. The sword kind of looks like this, but yeah. This is where, well, he kind of says the name, Arceus sword. This is where, well, Issei disappears in an instant from the building, appearing right in front of Chow Chow. And this is where Issei swings his sword straight towards Chow Chow's spear, which Chow Chow wasn't finished chanting the name of the spear. Chow Chow had only seconds of time to just use the spear to block the sword, But when he uses the spear just shatters into a million pieces, still managing to cut Chow Chow in the stomach, having a huge gash in his stomach. This is where Chow Chow cough up blood. This is where when everyone noticed the spear of the spear that killed Jesus Christ, get destroyed in an instant, everyone wind their eyes. True longitis was none other than just destroy in an instant. This is where Chow Chow wind his eyes. This is where Issei grabs what's it called Chow Chow before sending a powerful knee into his face, smashing him into his face. This is where Issei disappears the sword in his gauntlet before deciding to punch Chow Chow multiple times in the face, right now making his face bloody. Issei for some reason has a murder intent look into his eyes. Chow Chow can actually see this, but his only hatred towards that of supernatural beings. Counting those who has longitis, he counts him also as supernatural. He doesn't care. Issei is right now beating Chow Chow to death without a care in the world. This is where, Issei keeps doing it and doing it. He keeps just punching him. Think of it like Mikey when he's actually beating the shit out of any person, but yeah. Issei is just throwing punch over punch over punch. This is where, some of Chow Chow's kind of group, mostly leaders or somewhat, actually appear, and they were about to attack Issei until they hear blue flames. This is where, they see up in the air is a blue dragon sending blue flames straight towards them. They jump back, and someone appears. Someone wearing a red coat, blue jeans, but the red coat is much longer than his normal red coat. It's actually reached down to his blue jeans, mostly his knees. This is where he has a black shirt. This is where he has a red hat, and this is where, next to him actually appears a mega shiny evolution of Charizard. But yeah, this is where, the person says, you should already stop. Do you really want to just kill the person? This is where, the person starts talking towards the person in golden cloak. This is where, the golden white cloak. This is where the person who's having the cloak kind of says, I don't care. I'd rather kill him now. He pissed me off already. This is where, Red chuckles and says, fine, do you want me to kill the rest of them? Go ahead, I don't care what you do. This is where, when Issei keeps trying to punch at Chow Chow, he noticed Chow Chow was actually being teleported. Before anything else happened, Issei right now destroys the magic circle and right now punches Chow Chow even harder, right now destroying his face. This is where Chow Chow right now coughs up the blood onto Issei's face, and Issei just pushes the blood away from his face. This is where, he's glaring at the person who was trying to teleport Chow Chow away from him, from his little punching bag. He was literally just using Chow Chow as a punching bag. He glares at the Wukong himself, the old Wukong. This is where, Issei gets up and says, I'll be going then. This is where, Red says, go ahead, you can leave now. I'll be disappearing later also. This is where, Issei nodded, and this is where Issei disappears in an instant, a golden light a flash. This is where, mostly everyone else who was trying to get towards mostly Issei or mostly the golden figure, right now disappears in an instant. This is where Red kind of says, blue flame. This is where, he says blue flame. Well, mostly not blue flame. He says not shadow screen. He says smoke screen, Charizard. Charizard right now does a smoke screen. This is where, Red right now goes into having a cloak on over his head and right now disappears into the sky. Right now flying up, but yeah. This is where, right now we go into end kind of noticing Issei right now teleport into a golden pillar of light shooting up to the sky, which he already sees the sign to already leave. It seems that the Ten Tails has been defeated. This is where, and right now tips his hat down a little bit and just grins and says, time to go then. This is where, he tells Zagron to leave. This is where Zagron understands and turns into lightning and right now goes through a rift while Anne landing down to the ground and just walking around. Walking towards the human side and just thinking that he got lost somewhat. This is where, when we go into Matsui and mostly Matsui kind of protecting the humans can see Ho-Ho and Lugia right now just destroying any hands. We go before the hands are destroyed. We go into them kind of destroying and blocking any of the hands from actually touching humans. The humans can see Matsui or mostly the dark figure cloak, because he does have his cloak, right now summoning out other legendaries, or mostly some legendaries and 2 Pokemon. This is where he summons out a Charizard that goes Mega Evolution, and another one which it was Mega Evolution for blue shiny kind of Charizard, but the other one was a Gengar that also goes into its Mega Evolution and shiny. But yeah, that's where it was destroying any of their hands from getting close. And then the shield of it actually appears because the legendary that he summons was none other than Z. And if you know which one that is, because I don't actually know its actual name, I just remember it being called Z. Right now, it makes a shield trying to protect any of the humans. But yeah, this is where when the hands were destroyed, mostly Matsui disappeared with all the legendaries on, well, mostly legendary Pokemons and also his 2 Pokemons. This is where, well, Charizard and Gengar. This is where he disappeared already. But yeah. This is where, well, we go into mostly what's called everyone kind of wondering what just happened. It was a crazy event or whatever. This is where, well, mostly Kyo had to just say that it was a crazy event. It was a gas leakage, and yeah, they managed to erase a bunch of people's kind of memories. Those who were just human, but yeah. Now, of course, the people that didn't get erased their memories were mostly the supernatural beings, and those who were actually 4 figures who didn't actually get their memories erased, because they managed to sustain it pretty easily. That because of something that actually appeared next to them. Mostly a dark being appeared next to mostly Issei. And Issei just tells what's it called the being that he can go back home. This is where the being kind of says dark ride. This is where, well, he disappears in an instant. But yeah, it was none other than a dark ride. He managed to kind of sustain all of their memories from being erased. But yeah. But other than that, I'll be leaving it off here for part 1 of this what if. Yes, this might be part 1, but yeah, I might redo it later, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah, bye.